You can draft the most brilliant legal arguments in the world, but if your file organization is a mess, your case is vulnerable. Winning in civil litigation relies just as heavily on strict, unglamorous file management as it does on courtroom strategy. Lose a single medical record or miscalculate one discovery deadline, and the entire structural integrity of your case can collapse. This puts paralegals and solo practitioners in a tight spot. To get a bulletproof system, you essentially have three options. You can spend weeks building one from scratch, shell out thousands for an enterprise software subscription, or rely on pre-made off-the-shelf templates. This comparison table shows exactly why building from scratch is painful. Look at the split between billable legal work and non-billable admin. Every hour spent formatting rows in a spreadsheet or aligning margins on a discovery log is an hour draining your firm's profitability. Constructing baseline case trackers, chronologies, and index logs completely from scratch routinely consumes dozens of unpaid hours before you even begin analyzing the actual evidence. That brings us to a specific off-the-shelf alternative designed to bypass that setup phase, the Florida Notary Service Paralegal Litigation Support Pack. At its core, this download delivers 18 professional litigation templates spread across 56 distinct files. The question is whether these documents hold up under the actual stress of motion podcasts and trial prep, and which types of legal professionals genuinely need them in their workflow. This flowchart maps out the standard civil litigation timeline. You start at initial case intake on the left, move through the thick of discovery, and eventually land at trial. If we zoom in right here on the discovery phase, we can see exactly where the templates in this pack inject themselves into the daily routine. The bundle provides three distinct formats for deposition summaries: a page and line breakdown, a narrative overview, and a topical issue tracker. It also includes a medical chronology template, which forces a standardized timeline structure onto messy treatment dates, provider notes, and diagnoses. By forcing the evidence into these rigid formats up front, the reviewing attorney can instantly locate key witness testimony or spot gaps in a medical history right in the middle of drafting a motion. That utilizing these trackers comes with an operational trade-off. When you use standardized documents like these, you have to adapt your personal mental workflow to fit the provided columns and headers, rather than tweaking a blank spreadsheet to indulge your old habits. Let's look at the highest risk phase of any litigation practice: calculating and managing court deadlines. This breakdown shows the pack's Excel-based statute of limitations tracker and the deadline calculation worksheets. You can see the built-in conditional formatting automatically flagging cases as they approach expiration, alongside the 30, 60, and 90-day escalation alerts. It also employs a 5-step mathematical verification process, requiring the user to document the rule reference and calculation method, which acts as a hard stop against simple human arithmetic errors.
However, there is a strict technical limitation to relying on these standalone Excel files. Because they are local spreadsheets, they do not automatically sync with cloud-based firm calendars like Microsoft Outlook or Google Workspace. Every single date, tickler, and follow-up task has to be manually entered and updated by a human being. Therefore, these calendaring tools function strictly as a mathematical safety net and a quality control record. They are not an automated digital assistant pinging your phone when a filing is due. As for the actual delivery, the kit provides 4 distinct formats: the fillable PDFs, print-ready PDFs, editable Microsoft Word documents, and the Excel spreadsheets. The fillable PDFs are highly specific, programmed with over 4,700 interactive fields to allow for rapid, uniform data entry across a high volume of cases. Meanwhile, the Microsoft Word versions serve the opposite purpose. They allow you to strip out the default structure, modify the headings, and inject your own firm's branding. But we need to address the immediate user experience of downloading 56 files all at once. When that zip file bursts open and fills your screen with icons, it induces a mild case of folder shock, a brief moment of overwhelm at the sheer volume of material. You cannot simply start dragging and dropping files into active client folders on minute 1. To actually extract value, you have to invest the upfront time to read the included Start Here guide and map the files to your local directory. The efficiency gains are massive, but they are not strictly instant. Taking a macro view, this toolkit is a set of jurisdiction-neutral foundational infrastructure. It is a framework for your files, not a replacement for case management software. We can map out exactly who benefits from this by looking at this quadrant chart, which plots the required implementation effort against the operational impact. If you work in big law or a massive enterprise environment, you land firmly in the low-impact quadrant. Established firms already possess legacy templates and deeply integrated proprietary software. For those paralegals, buying this pack is entirely redundant. Next, we have the learner, your law students and paralegal trainees, sitting right here in the high-impact, high-learning zone. Because the bundle is available for a nominal flat fee, it acts as an incredibly cost-effective educational tool, letting students study the exact architecture of real-world litigation long before they take their first job. Finally, we place the builder, the solo attorneys, virtual paralegals, and small firms, straight into the ideal high-impact, low-effort quadrant. This is where the ROI is undeniable. You're trading $25 to skip the 40-plus hours of unbillable misery it takes to draft, format, and calculate these documents yourself. If you are actively building a practice or freelancing, stop trying to recreate the wheel. Your time is too valuable to spend aligning margins on a discovery log. Click the link, download the zip file, drop your logo onto the documents, and standardize your litigation practice today.